Okay. Hello. New stream, new camera, and painting up the Immolator. Let's see how far we get today. I'm seeing the reflection of the screens behind me. Got my reference point for painting this up. And so, yeah, trying a different setup rather than trying to have a camera that's like focused on the models. That's right. Instead, what I'm trying is to, instead what I'm trying to do is have the model in my hands up here so I can look at it in a more natural way. And in doing that, hopefully get better results out of it. I'm also just going to move the webcam a little bit. Okay, let's try this. A warm light from this. So yeah, let's go. Really, the next part of the process is to be working with the reds, the whites. It's reds, whites, fire, and ending with tidy up. I might not get the tidy up done today, but I am very keen to at least get the red and the white, or the red, white, and fire done. So let's first start with some Wild Rider red. And this is gonna not that Wild Rider red. That's a messed up pot. How about this one? That sounds more like it. So this Wild Rider red is focused on the cloth for the driver and for the outside bit of the fluid release. Let's get some paint on the old brush and start. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint the whole fluid release, even the bit that's going to end up white, because that way what I get is a lighter, well, lighter than black at least, base bit for when I do the white afterwards. Okay, that's probably going to need a second coat. It's looking a bit, not phenomenal right now, but that's why we do two coats. It's a layer paint, so it's a lot thinner than the base paints. And the fun thing actually is that I only got Wild Rider red as part of a guide for ghost armies. I painted up, there's 3 squads of Harlequins to be ghosts. And I've never actually played a game with my Harlequins. It's the funny thing, actually. You start doing a channel about a game you love and you realize just how little you actually play it. That's a depressing way to start the stream. Actually, I don't get to play that much by way of Warhammer. Problem is, right, is basically, if I want to play somewhere that isn't just a friend's house, it's somewhere where I feel obligated to spend money, and it's another 7 weeks before I've got money, because that's when I start my new job. but they only have evenings. And a lot of these places just aren't open very late in the evenings. So either I've got to spend money I don't really have to play, or I need to be yeah, I need to either spend money I don't have, or try and play a game that normally takes several hours to play in far less time. And it's just really hard to get in. Or otherwise, it's playing with friends and trying to coordinate and find out when everyone's free, and people just aren't free. It's just really hard to get anything organized. It's the downside of doing anything social, really. It's just trying to get it functional. A really bit of a sad indictment, I guess. Going to use some contrast Blood Angels red for the more red wood panels. Whoa, that took a bit too much of the brush. It's fine. Oh, there's another bit of Blood Angels red to be cracking on with. Move my head there. Yeah. So interesting thing is currently I'm using the image on the Games Workshop website as a reference point for this model. And it's saying temporarily out of stock. And I feel like up until this week, I would have been thinking, oh, that means it's popular. People are buying it. But after this week, you just can't know, can you? Everything is on the line, and you'd think, oh, but the updated Sisters range is fairly new, but then so are the Stormcast. I don't know, it's really demotivating seeing that post about what's rotating out of the Age of Sigmar range. Like I said in my video, I think for my Age of Sigmar play, I'm going to switch to one-page rules. I love Games Workshop models. I think they're beautiful, but it's kind of hard to say to people, "Oh, yeah, you should play this Warhammer game," when you never know if the model's going to stick around. Kill Team, right? Kill Team's got and Warcry have a low barrier to entry, so I can actually recommend those. I've got a Kill Team video going up tomorrow. Because I felt like Kill Team I could like unabashedly say I could like unabashedly advocate for, because skirmish games are just really good. Like there's something different about army scale games, which is why normally I've been thinking in terms of big army scale games. But when you kind of start reevaluating your relationship with army scale games, you do, yeah, suddenly the skirmish scale just felt better. Okay, let's get the Wild Rider Red back. I'm going to bin this one I tried to save in a terrible way. Um, okay, so that's an interesting thing. Hello, person saying testing. I think you know. I think I know who you are. Um, and I think you are my IRL fiance who has joined the live stream on your phone, but your phone is signed in using my other YouTube channel, which I use mostly for commenting and watching other content. So if I'm right, please could you say something in the chat to say that it's you? And I know that it's not that my other channel's been hacked into. For anyone else potentially watching or watching this after the fact, I have two channels. One is just where I watch stuff, really. I kind of comment and I allow myself to be more negative more of the time. It's also where I watch like a lot of like Lord of the Rings content and stuff. And then there's this channel, which is where I actually upload. Hello, Sand Coffin. Um, so yeah, right now I'm just painting up some fire, doing it in stages, starting with red, and then what I'm going to start doing is build up that fire to a white, because yeah, the kind of levels of flame. Well, flames are weird, right? Flames are really cool, and maybe you remember this from your old science lessons, but fire gets hotter and it changes color, right? So an orange flame is cooler. So yellow flames are quite cool. You can put your hand through a yellow flame without, yeah, if you just do that through a yellow flame, it's not an issue. Red is a lot hotter, and then like blue is hotter than that, and then white is the hottest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these colors so that it starts cold, it's only going to get hotter. It's not how conventional physics works, but it's how I want to. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a cool looking effect. And I'll lure it up as a kind of, oh yeah, this is the power of the faith of the sororitas that lets this happen in this way. And in doing that, it's going to be visually a bit more interesting and it's just a bit distinct, you know, from others. Also, homebrewing up an orange because, fun fact, I don't own any yellow paint. So yeah, what I've got is I've put in some median flesh tone that I am going to turn into, that is kind of a bit more yellowy. So by adding it in, I'm hoping to kind of create an orange. Now that fire's a bit more filled out. Then I'm going to get a little bit of blue. I have got this Baharoth blue, which I think is quite a nice looking light blue that I think works well for flame, basically. The idea with the blue is I'm going to try and put it just kind of kind of what I perceive to be kind of the cone of the flame. Okay. And then when that's dried a bit, then I'll do a bit of a white dry brush over just the very peaks. And that should be enough for the flames. In the meantime, let's get the white on, the rest of it. I own 2 whites. This is the weird thing with whites. Thorax white, Ulthuan grey. The grey looks more white to me than the white. So I'm using Ulthuan grey. The cool thing you can do actually with painting is if there's somewhere for text and you don't feel confident enough to do text, find a homebrew reason around it. What I can say is, even though I'm just painting the model for the fun of it, is for my sister's order. That's the word. They leave the scrolls blank because they are waiting for the emperor to give them words directly to put on, and so as to not commit heresy, They are waiting for the pure, unfiltered words of the Emperor. And yeah, that's how I homebrew this, because I don't want to try and put lettering onto my model. Fun things you can do to homebrew around a situation. Can't hear anything. Oh God. Uh, no. Pete's sake. Oh, this is so annoying. Just gonna. Oh, it's working now. Yay! Woo! Sound. Just as more people have come to the stream, so welcome, 3 viewers. Today we're painting up the Immolator. Hopefully, going to get to the point where we just need to kind of do tidy up to finish it off. So I've been painting up the fire and been doing the little stone things around. I'm about to start on the wings of this servitor cherub that's on the top and go from there. Now, the interesting thing with some of this stuff is that I always take it to be kind of stonish. So I don't go fully with the white. What I do is it's a pseudo dry brush where it's not fully dry brushing, but I've just taken off like the bulk of the paint. And it means I get this lovely gray from my gray. And in doing that, I just feel like I get a really lovely stone quality. I want the focus of the model to actually be this bit. So I don't want to be too dramatic with the rest of the model, just enough to convey the idea of what it's supposed to be. Yeah, one very creepy looking baby servitor. And I'm back down to no viewers. Oh, hello again. Hello, you're still a viewer. Yay. So just using some more of my orangey mix to do the little loincloth of the cherub. it's and then for these candle flames. So I think there is a slight delay. I don't know how long that delay is. It could be 30 seconds, it could be a minute. I'm still trying to work out how a lot of this live stuff works, to be honest. Like, the interesting thing is when trying to set this up, it won't view my webcam directly. The webcam is being done through third-party software, but at least now it's a webcam and it's not. So I don't have. It's like I move my arm at the same time as I'm saying I'm moving my arm. So that's a huge improvement. Yeah, it's just this weird limbo state I'm in where I don't really know what's going on with these live streams. And to be honest, I am very close to giving up on the idea of doing live streams. It's just it somehow makes painting harder, and I'm already on the cusp of just saying nuts to the whole channel. And live streams just get a bit demotivating in that regard. So so it's 6:07. That message came through saying you're only just hearing the delay. Let me talk about the delay. So I guess the next step is figure out how long it takes between you sending a message and me getting the message. I mean, to be honest, I'm now at the stage where it's just tidy up, and I've got this model completed, and I honestly think I'm going to call it there with the stream. It's yeah. Join me next week where we finish the Immolator with tidying up all the bits of color, and then week after that, depending, so the week after next. So next week, I'll hopefully finish up the Immolator. Week after that will depend if my pre-order of Kill Team Nightmare has arrived. If my order of Kill Team Nightmares arrived, I'll be starting on the Mandrakes from that. Otherwise, I'll be painting up incredibly out of season one of my Dared Gobbo surprise figures. Because until my order of Kill Team Nightmare comes through, Those two red gobos are my only GW models in my backlog post Immolator. So I'll be finishing up them. I've got other models I paint for not streaming, one of which is this nearly completed Legion from Mass Effect, and my two rogue hobbies goblins. I've got the first two. I don't have the third one yet. And then there's this, which is going to be part of a kit bash. There's not really a GW thing, so I've not been doing it on. So I've got no plans of doing that one on stream. I mean, maybe if I finish both of the red gobos, and I've still not got Kill Team Nightmare, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think I'm done with the stream today. I was tired anyway. I'm still on the other side. I'm still coming through some bug I've had. And yeah, when the only viewer is you, sorry. I'm just not really feeling it now. Not my longest stream, but not my shortest stream either. 42 minutes. Yeah. Next week, we finish the Immolator. Until next time.